Good morning, students. I'm Amita Parekh. Today we are going to study the topic states of matter. Now, what is matter? Look around and name all the things you see, such as pencil, eraser, box, table, chair, etc. Do these things have weight or not? Do they occupy space? Your answer is yes. So anything that occupies space and has weight is called matter. Matter can be further classified as solid, liquid and gas. Now states of matter can be classified into solid, liquid and gas. As you see in the picture, ice is an example of solid, water is an example of liquid and air is an example of gas. Now let us look at some of the definitions. Molecules, the smallest unit of an element or compound. They are made up of atoms. One drop of water has billion water molecules. Next, intermolecular space. The space between the molecules is known as the intermolecular space. Now, let's start with solid. All the things that have definite shape and volume and which occupies space is called solid. In solids, the molecules are held very tightly together and the intermolecular space is very less. Thus, molecules cannot move easily. This is what gives solid a definite shape. Some examples of solid are table, chair, box, pencil, eraser, etc. Now, as you can see in the picture given below, the balls that are shown are molecules and the spaces which is present between the balls are the intermolecular space. Now, let us move to the second state of matter, that is liquid. In a liquid, the particles are more loosely packed than in a solid and are able to flow around each other, giving the liquid the indefinite shape. Therefore, the liquid will conform to the shape of its container. Some examples of liquid are water, oil, milk, juice, etc. As shown in the figure, the spaces in liquid is more than as compared to solid. Gases. In a gas, the particles have a great deal of space between them. The molecules are loosely held with large intermolecular space. A gas has no definite shape or volume. Example: we can usually guess what is being cooked in the kitchen without even going inside the kitchen. A gas we all need to breathe is called oxygen and the gas we breathe out is called carbon dioxide. As we see in the picture, the intermolecular space between the molecules of gas is much more as compared to liquid. Now, some examples of solid are wood, stone, joystick, etc. Some examples of liquid are water, coffee, etc. And some examples of gas are cylinder, gas pump, gas drum, etc. Now, in the given picture, we can see the basic differences between solid, liquid and gas. You can go through it once and we will discuss it in detail in the next slide. Now, let's study the difference between the states of matter in detail. Particles in a solid state are closely packed, usually in a regular pattern. Particles in a liquid are close together with no regular shape. Particles in gas are loosely packed with no regular pattern. Solids do not flow. Particles in liquid flow. Particles in gas move freely at high speed. Solids retain their shape, while liquids do not retain their shape. They take the shape of the container they are in. Gases also take the shape of their container. Solids cannot be compressed. Liquids also cannot be compressed, while gases can be compressed. Now, we are going to study this change of state of matter. As you can see in the picture, water can be seen in the liquid state. When we freeze it, it becomes ice, which is the solid state, and when we boil it, it becomes steam, which is the gas state. Now let us see at some of the definitions of change of state. Matter can change from one physical state to another. The change of state from solid to liquid is known as melting. The change of state from liquid to gas is known as vaporization or evaporation. The change of state from liquid to solid is known as solidification or freezing. And the change of state from gas to liquid is known as condensation. In this picture, we can easily see the various changes of the states of matter. When liquid is boiled, it changes into gas and is known as evaporation. And the change of state from gas to liquid is known as condensation. Similarly, the change of state from liquid to solid is called freezing, and from solid to liquid is called melting. Now, changes can be of two types, physical change and chemical change. A change from one state to another without a change in chemical composition is called as a physical change. The examples of physical change are breaking a pencil, boiling water, dissolving sugar, crushing a can, melting of a snowman, cutting an apple. A reaction that rearranges the atoms of one or more substances, resulting in the formation of at least one new substance and new chemical properties, is called as a chemical change. The examples of chemical change are baking of cookies, toasting a marshmallow, ripening of a banana, rusting nail, frying of an egg, and digesting food. Now, matter undergoes two types of changes, physical change and chemical change. Physical change. This is a temporary change in which the substance undergoing change do not change their chemical composition. For example, changing of water into ice is only change in their state. Chemical change. This is a permanent change. This is a change in which new substances form. For example, on burning a piece of paper, it changes into ash. So this is a permanent change. Let us look at some of the differences between physical and chemical change. Physical changes are mostly reversible. Chemical changes are not reversible. No new substances are formed. One or more new substances are formed in chemical change. The substances retain its chemical properties in physical change. The new substance formed have different properties from the original substance in chemical change. I hope you all have understood this topic very well. Thank you.